Oh, Go C slash for Go B. Okay, they changed the name, huh?
Let me put it in the chat.
Okay, putting it in the chat now. Let me go to the chat. Cool. Okay, there's the chat. I'm gonna go over here and grab that. Click on it. All right. It doesn't want to go that way. Fine. I'll just copy it.
Blender 3.
All right. Let's go over here and we'll load it in. So everybody's got. Actually, everybody, go ahead and load that on. I think it'll be handy. If you have ZBrush, it'll be handy to have. Um, what is this here? I'll just go back. Custom this is something else. Transform. Okay. All right, so there we go. We got our GoZ plugin and GoZ Go B. Okay,
Right.
so I wonder if I already just have it.
It's probably the newest version.
All right, and I wouldn't mind. Let's see, where is the download?
Good question. Let's see.
You passed it. It's near the top.
Oh, it's near the top. Okay, let me go to the top.
Right below the creature in red. Go down, go down, go down, go down, right there.
Here, there,
Yeah.
got it. All right, so it's code. Let me go here. Download the zip file. So you go to the code, download the zip file, and I'll go put it in my downloads, my Blender add-ons, which I should have right there, and then paid add-ons. I'm going to copy the Gobi master. Huh. It's double click it, Gobi master. It's there. Done. Okay. All right. So now we're going to go install this into Blender. Edit menu preferences. Go to your add-on. Go to your install here. Let's see. Go to my downloads. Let's go find my Blender add-ons. Make sure I didn't pass it up here. See, there it is. Oops. I'm clicking too fast. Bum, 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 bum. Let's see. Blender add-ons. Here. I'm moving too fast. Blender add-ons. Do that. Oh, it's not going to find the folder, huh? Oops. Just froze up on me. Let's hold Blender view. There we go. Okay, so Blender Market. Let's just find the add-ons here and we'll just get it installed. I'm going to go back to my downloads. There it is, Blender add-ons. And we're going to go look for GoZ, right? Actually, what's the official name? Was it ZBrush GoZ Go B? Go down the bottom. Gobi master. There's a zip file. Install it. There it is. I guess that's it. So I'm assuming it probably just updated it or something. Okay, so it'll show it, and it will normally show up. Let me get out of here. Let's get in the tab. Go to
Mine
my.
shows up in the upper right corner. I took a screenshot of where it's at.
All
It's on
right,
the
and that's where it usually is on mine too. So I get a plus symbol here. General. Here, let's close this out.
yeah,
Cause
but I bet you when you restart it, it'll pop up.
yeah, save it. Okay, cool. I think you're right. There we go. Go back. Yeah, let's go get all apps. Let's go get Blender. 3, 4. See if we get anything coming up here. We should.
Are you on Windows 11?
I am on Windows 11. I am.
How do you like it? I just got on it like 2 days ago.
I love it. It's
Yeah?
way it's faster. I mean, I'm really liking it.
There it is. You
Where
got it.
where
Up upper right.
there it is right there. No, import export right there. That's it.
I think there's a lot more functionality in Windows 11 too.
Oh, there's a
To be
lot more
honest.
function. I like this idea where you can put several things open at once. So if I can't go Windows E like this, and I drag it up here, and you see this, it's a layout for my Windows. So I can put one there, and then it
Yeah.
lays it out automatically for you.
Hmm.
I see for the import, I'm getting a Python error. The export seems to work.
The export, the import seems to work. Okay, the export seems to work, but the import doesn't.
Click on the import, see what happens.
All right. Click it. There.
Oh, okay.
Well, what did it import? Just a plain?
Mine says Python traceback, blah, blah, blah.
Interesting. Did you restart Blender?
I did not.
Okay, do that. That was the thing I did that you didn't do.
Wow, it works pretty well.
Yeah. So now you can go back and forth through Blender without dragging and dropping. It's connected.
I'll Google and see what's the problem
Okay.
later.
All right.
Cool.
I've been checking out you guys' on Discord. Discord is real handy, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
You got the submarine. We'll check that out. I'll go ahead and
I got
download.
two submarines.
You got two submarines? Okay.
I made the Nautilus from
Oh, that's going to be good.
under the sea.
Oh, that.
It's indistinguishable from the real one. It was too pretty to put up on Discord.
Okay. All right. Let's see. It's going to my student homework and Blender 3D printing week 3. All right. Submarine archive there. Let's see what else have we got. We got more stuff up here. We got some blend files up here too, all right? I remember seeing them. I think they're further up. I thought it was closer than that. There it is. Submarine blend. This is the other one. Is this whose is this one?
Is it
this
version
yours, Tony?
7?
Huh?
If it's version 7, it's mine. Yeah.
Okay, it's version 2.
No.
Did you upload version 7?
Oh, that's yeah. Go all the way down. Go all the way down. Keep going. It's a zip file.
Or, is that the one I just downloaded?
Yeah, because probably.
Yeah,
Yep, that
that's
right
the one I
there.
just downloaded.
Yeah, that's mine. Yeah, that's mine.
Okay,
It's still
so
my
then that
latest version of
version
it.
2, is that yours, Zari?
That version 2 is
Mine
mine.
is in a folder.
Yours is in the folder? Okay, so here's
Yeah,
the,
Google Drive.
the Ordo B. Ordo bar.
That's me,
Okay, that's, who's me?
Jose.
Jose, hey, hey, Jose. Okay, week 3, cool. Got the blend file there. And let's go up and see if I'm missing anything. You say yours is in the folder.
In the Google Drive.
Oh, in the
shared-
Google Drive folder. Okay. No, I had asked everybody to submit to submit here instead.
Oh, okay. Let me do that.
All right. Well, that's all right. Well, that's a go ahead and drag it on in. Let me know when you're done. Did anybody else do homework that?
Yeah, I put mine in the Google Drive.
All right. Do you mind putting it here?
I'm trying to get on. I'm having an issues with. Why am I having an issue logging on to
Getting
this?
on this, so you come. I gave you an invite, right?
Yeah, and it's saying claim this account.
There we go. So I just got, this is yours, Zari? The Dreadnought?
No,
No,
no, that's mine.
That's your,
Michael.
oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I'm downloading that now. That's a blend. And you guys, you can just put the blend file in here directly. You don't have to zip it up or anything.
I had to zip mine up because it was too big. It was 9 megs or something like that. And
9 megs?
yeah, my zip file was huge.
I don't know why I'm having an issue with this.
Ah, okay. Well, I can go to the Google Drive.
I apologize.
yeah, I have never logged on to Discord.
It's time to
from my-
demystify the Mist Pass. There are 3 buttons you need to...
Shut up.
Yeah, I don't know why my blend file was so big.
Okay, let me go to the Google Drive and go here. There we go. Drive. And then 3D printing.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
There we are.
that was for week 2, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Tony and Michael's I have already, right? So it's
Yes, sir.
Zare I don't have, and I think Jet, you were gonna upload something.
I'm doing this right now.
All right. Let me just double click. There's the blend file. I'll just grab that. The Nautilus.
Oh man, I'm having a hell of a time getting on Discord on my PC. Yeah.
Okay, desktop. There we go. And 3D printing, week 2. Was that in the right folder? Did I put everything in the right folder?
You put the other 2 in week 3, actually.
Okay, thank you. Let me go get them and move them out.
So does this work like Slack? Do we, are there channels and all the other stuff?
It kind of works like Slack. I give me a hot second. Let me do this first, and I'm gonna come back and help you with that there.
Of course.
There we go. We got that there. Get that out of the way. Go back to my desktop. Student homework right there. And go to the Blender 3D printing, week 3, grab all those, cut them out, and go to week 2 and paste them in. Alright, so one's already there, so I guess that's the Dreadnought. So replace destination file. Okay, so I got the Dreadnought, the Orto B, and the submarine. And I'm going to unzip the submarine real quick. Meeting chat, close that out. Cool. This is good. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Let's go back and help. Now you're trying to get into Discord?
Yeah, I'm in.
Me too.
Well, you're in Discord. Who said me too?
Yeah, but only from my Android phone, not from my PC.
All right, so it's the same account, username and password. It should automatically put you in.
Exactly. I don't know my password, unfortunately.
All right.
Oh, you can use your if you go to Discord, it'll open up a QR code that you shoot with your phone.
I'm gonna copy the link, the invite link, guys, and I'm gonna put it into the chat box now for Discord. So just click on that link, and that's your invite to Discord. Come on in, and it should automatically let you in. So Zari and Jet, you should be able to get in there.
Yes, sir.
Who were we? Oh, there he is. There's Santosh. Hey, Santosh. You're awfully quiet back there.
Just I'm trying to get on the Discord.
Okay, so then you got the link too. I found out that I can also talk to you like we're doing now and share my screen.
Oh, I'll tell you,
Discord.
Steve, a year ago, Santosh and I were doing Thursday night drawing sessions. We had our iPads hooked up to our Macs, and we were sharing our screens as well as talking to each other
Through Discord?
through Discord.
Oh yeah, then you guys are pros at it then.
I wouldn't say that, but yeah, we've dabbled.
There should be no problems with you guys getting into Discord.
Yeah, Santosh and I were playing with it, and we were doing Thursday nights, and we're just sitting there drawing for a couple hours.
This is a great place for you guys to come to and do Blender stuff together. And that's why I set it up this way, so you guys can come on in and play around. And there we go, Santosh is in. See, I'm gonna get to say hi to Santosh. Cool, welcome. So all through the week, I've been seeing you guys actually coming in here and helping each other out, which was great to see. So we get more of the students in here, and you can just exponentially grow your skill sets. Somebody else just logged in. Let's see, Jet, did you get in there?
I did.
Oh, good.
I did.
Cool. So you're in. So everybody's good to go?
Yes, sir.
Oh, good. There we go. All right. So put your, let's see, week 2 homework tank. That's Jet's. The Dreadnought I have already, so I'm going to go download that now and put that into week 2. And let's see, am I missing somebody?
You'll be getting mine
Let's
shortly.
see, Santosh, did you put anything in here?
No, not yet.
Okay, cool. Are you going to put anything in there?
Eventually.
Okay. Okay. He's honest. All right, cool. All right, I'm going to put this over here to the other screen so we can play. All right, let's go on and do a little bit of homework.
I just put mine in there. Hopefully you'll see it.
Okay. So since Zari is so enthusiastic today, we'll do his first.
Everybody else, watch and learn.
All right, let's see. Desktop. Let's go to my students and let's go to 3D printing. Let's do week 2, and let's see. Yours was which one? The submarine?
Nautilus.
Nautilus.
Did you unzip it?
I thought I did. Maybe I didn't.
I just posted it on Discord.
Wrong one. I want that one. You just posted it. Oh, okay. I don't have it. Then I don't have it.
V4 optimized. Yeah, there it is. Nautilus V4 optimized.
Hold on.
You had it in there.
Oh, there it is. That's not in Discord. That was in Google.
It was, but I also successfully got into Discord and posted it there. So it's the same model.
Go here. I'll just go ahead and download that. Week 2. It says it's in there. Why am I not seeing it? It's kind of weird. Let me see, what the hell am I doing?
Oh, you know why? Because it says .blend2.
Blend.
Yeah, it said blend too.
Oh,
It's got to be .blend.
no, okay.
Oh,
You're
man.
messing me up.
It also says we too up on the URL bar.
Yeah, I know.
Whee!
Week 2. Okay, cool. All right, there we go. Let's get back in the blend. Command or Control O for open. Don't save. Let's go over here to desktop. Student homework. Blender printing. Week 2. And that's for Nautilus. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, turn on all the layers.
All right.
Make them visible.
Okay, let's go ahead, go over to here, and boom, boom, boom. Okay, cool.
There you go.
All right.
Spitting.
So there's your rivets. There's a plug-in for putting in rivets too, but I don't want to talk about that just yet. So he's got his rivets. Let me see what he's. I think you did. Let's go over here to each panel. You want to talk about it?
It's basically I followed your tutorial from last week, and I ended up with that, and it worked just fine.
I would have loved to seen this with a little more curved surfaces, so that you can see just how well it works along those surfaces
Yeah.
as well.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, maybe beveling it more.
Yeah, or using subdivision surface a modifier will help with that as well.
Yeah, I tried the sub D modifiers, and then the main body became blobby, and then I was having trouble making my panels stick to it,
Okay.
kind of thing.
Okay, I think we need to probably address subdivision surface modeling techniques, because I've heard a number of comments mentioned where people mentioned they struggled working with subdivision surfaces as a modeling tool or modeling workflow. Okay, this is cool. All right, this works. I mean, it's showing me you're understanding rivets. Yeah, got your paneling in there just right. Comments from you guys?
Sorry, I got the hang of rivets.
Yes.
You got the finally got the
You're
hang of rivets.
speechless.
Great job, sorry.
Yeah.
I think only little. If I was going to stick with this particular design, I'm going to go to. Oh, so you got everything as one piece. Your panels aren't separated, or are they? Oh, yes, they are. I guess they are. So if I put a bevel modifier on here, there,
Oh, I see.
and then control those edges a little bit like that. Maybe round them off a little bit like that. Something,
Oh, nice.
kind of give it some dimension to it. All right, so when we do our homework next time, I want to see more. I'd love to see more curvature like the actual Nautilus. Did you use it as a reference at all? An image of the Nautilus?
Yeah. I found a top view and a side view,
Okay. Yeah.
so I put them in the background.
Okay, so they are in here in the background.
Oh, I optimized the model and I deleted all my
Deleted all of them?
intermediate
Okay, no worries.
things.
Yeah, no worries.
A lot of extraneous layers that I deleted.
So I would have loved to see the blade coming from the front, coming up and over. I love the original design from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. All the other designs after that I've seen, I've never been attracted to for some reason.
Yes.
And it's it's a challenging one to try to model. You pick something challenging to model.
I'm slowly going to improve on that.
Yeah, I know. Well, trust me, I know. Okay, let's go. That's the good job.
If you want, I can show you one. You wanted to see the images
Yeah.
and all that. I can share my screen
Sure.
and show you.
All right. Okay.
There's the side
That's the
view.
Side view. Good job. Yeah.
I matched the side and the top
Okay.
as best I could.
And then do you have a front view?
No, I don't.
Okay, so
I couldn't find one.
I think I've got a folder. Let me see if I even have a folder that I put all my blueprints in. So when I find blueprints, and actually I'll show you a place where you guys can get blueprints if you ever want to if you ever want to design something. Let me see. Let me go to. I'm gonna go down here. And then don't forget to bring down the opacity of your images, sorry. so that they're not
Oh,
interfering.
yeah.
Right, so they're not interfering with you modeling your, because it's too strong. So guys, keep in mind too, you can bring this into Photoshop and cut away all that white around the ship, and then export it out as a PNG, and Blender will recognize what would have been the white areas as being completely transparent.
Nice.
So none of that shows up. So keep that in mind. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Yeah, once again. Cool. There we go. We're back. All right, so I'm going to go to somebody else's homework real quick. Then I want to show you real fast. I'm going to render. Let me bring this over here real quick. And I think I made a folder or bookmark called Blueprints. Blueprints here. No, that's not it. Where's my blueprints?
I just wish these images were so much larger and better detailed.
Right. Let's see. Maybe I got this on the other folder over here. All right. That was Adobe I was in, that folder I first picked up. Okay, there we go. Come on. Get over here. Yeah, that was Adobe there. So I want to go to Blueprints.
I want to watch this movie today.
Blueprints. I think I'm hoping. Oh, come on, Steven. I thought I put this in here. Blender add-ons.
Yeah, Steve, what the hell?
Exactly. I thought I had that in here. Okay, well, if I find it, I'll remember in a little bit. Anyways, let me go and just get the next person's homework real quick. Open. Don't save. All right, Dreadnought. Cool. All right, so whose is this one?
It's mine, Michael.
Okay, Michael. All right, cool.
I need to go and do a bit more to it, but
All right.
this is as far as I got for this morning.
All right. So is this based off of an actual ship from Paramount, or?
It's based on a scratch-built kit I made when I was about 14, and it loosely, in that profile that you have it right there, it's loosely based on the old Trans Am logo.
Okay, cool. So I would love to see.
No showing off, Michael. No showing off.
It's not a pretty model if you dig into it. So.
So if we go to each, let's see this. I think you've got it in
Damn
halves
overachievers.
here. Let's turn on my. There we go. Let's go over. Let's see. Get this out of the way. Thank you. Pull that on over. All right. So modifiers are here. Your mirror is on. Turn off.
Yeah.
Turn off the mirror for the body as well. There we go. Good. Yeah, we're only modeling half that. Okay, but love to see more detail on the body.
Yeah, me too.
And underneath. But I see you're getting the point. All right, cool. Any questions on this?
Oh, tons, but we ain't got the time right now. Maybe later.
All right, no worries. I'll be here. All right, let's go open and let's go do this one next. Yes. Okay, who's this one?
That'll be Jose.
Maybe Jose? Okay, cool. All right, nice. You want to talk about this?
Basically, I had a difficult time finding a subject to model. And since I'm brand new to Blender, I figured that I would just kind of try to do something that's both simple but complex enough to kind of be a challenge. So I found a picture of a Lego robot.
Okay.
And it's on the Discord thread. You'll see the picture that I use it on.
All right.
And so it doesn't really have a lot of rivets to begin with. I just decided to kind of just utilize just kind of my imagination where the rivets would go.
Right.
It's not 100% faithful to the Lego robot. It's just it's more of like something to play with. After I submitted it, I realized it didn't do the subdivision surfaces. So yeah. But I did, I spent 2 days trying to figure out the rivets.
Okay.
it was a lot harder. Not that there were a lot of rivets to begin with, but I did intend to put more rivets on it. But trying to get the hang of Blender and it has been more challenging than I anticipated.
All right, so I tell you what, talk to me. So what was it about Blender that you found challenging?
Well, okay, so for one thing, as you can see, if you put it in object mode, you see some of the rivets up on the helmet, but you don't see the ones on the chest. And I actually have the rivet guide for the right pack where the rivets would
Got
go,
it?
but it wouldn't actually put the rivets on it. I mean, I did everything exactly as the left pack, but it wouldn't do it.
All right, let's
And
try it. So this is your rivet. Let's go to this one here.
now that one already has a rivet guide. If you look at I think it's the, oh, you're in object mode,
I'm
right?
in object mode. So basically, you got to parent it to it first.
Yeah,
And I'm assuming you did that. So if I select on this object,
I did. Yeah, see, '06 is the
that's the
guide.
guide right there. Okay.
Yeah, so I tried parenting the rivet to that
Now,
guide.
this is what's going to help you. You could break this down into folders. You got everything stuck away in collections here, and you've made no attempt to organize this stuff. And now that's going to help in terms of a workflow. That's going to help you the best. So if this is going to be part of the PEC, and this is going to be part of the PEC, well then make a new folder. Hit your M key, new. Oh damn it! I hate it when I do that. M key, new selection, and we're going to call it pectorals. Okay.
Yeah,
And then it all goes right there in the pectoral folders. You can turn it off and on as one piece. So now everything will just sit in there. And it's a great way just to keep organized. You got to keep organization. Now over here underneath the pectorals, there's your guide, right? So call this one.
actually, '06 is the guide.
What was that?
Or sorry, '05. '05 is the guide.
Got it. Hold on a second. We'll go to 05. That's the guide. All right. So we're going to call this one. We're going to call this one PEC Guide, and then call this one PEC. Not this one, but this one PEC. All right, and just keep it organized like that. That way you know where things are. It's easy to get lost. So now there's your guide, which is what you're really interested in. And then your guide, your guide is selected. Now if I move it around, okay, so it looks like your rivet is parented to your guide. Okay, so that makes me happy. So now at this point, all you have to do is this. Once it's parented, all you do is you come down here to your object properties, this little orange thing here, and then tell it to do the vertices.
Yeah,
And let's see.
and they're not there.
There. That's very interesting.
Try hitting align to vertex normal.
Align the vertex normal.
Yeah, or underneath it.
Nothing.
Okay,
Nothing.
no. So that
So
means
align the
that,
vertex
and I was
normal
running.
means that if you have a ball and and you want your object to be parented to the ball in the right direction, that's when you use that align the vertex normals. So
Okay.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this again. I'm going to select these two. I'm going to hit Alt P, which means clear the parent. Okay, and I'm going to do this again. I'm going to select this. That's not it. I want that little ball. I want to select the. Oh, you know what? I forgot to select the ball. Oh, there it is. You have it parented back
You have
here.
Muron or something?
Yeah, it looks like he's got it back here to something else.
Yeah, there's also the. I also had an issue with
You don't have a
that I
modifier.
could align it. I could put it with the guide,
know what?
but they wouldn't put the rivets on the
This is
guide.
what we're gonna do.
They would put it somewhere
This is what
else.
we're gonna do. Grab the guide, right? Right click and set the origin to the geometry. Now there's the center point of your geometry. Shift S, cursor to select it. Why? Because we're going to go Shift A and add our rivet to the dead center of your object. So now it's all set up for you. Boom. Your rivet is too big. B key, bring it down just like that. And this is the workflow you should use for everything that you do. Just select your guide. Make sure the origin is set to the guide, and then set your cursor, 3D cursor, to the origin, and then everything dead center of the origin it should match up with your points. I'll make it a little smaller like that. Okay, that's good. Now Command A, rotation and scale. Go ahead and apply it. Now with that selected, Shift select the guide. No, the guide. Oh, let me grab this ball again. M key, and put it where?
I would just put it with your pectoral.
That's right, put it with the
wouldn't you?
pectorals. Boom. So now it's
Okay.
all together. They're all together down here. So now this will be the rivet. So I'm going to pec rivet. Okay. And now with that selected, let's see, Shift select the guide.
And then
Command P.
Control P.
That's right. Command P. Command or Control P. Object keep transform. All right. Now go to the guide. Oh, you know what? Now it looks like the rivet is the parent and not the guide. Huh. That's not what I meant to do. I knew that's
weird.
kind of weird. Let me go Alt P and clear that parent.
Because you select the rivet first, then the guide,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I
Right.
thought I did. So rivet first, and then Shift click onto the guide.
And then parent.
All right. So here, I'm going to grab this one here and tell it to lock. Your lock isn't up here, by the way. Go to your little funnel. Hit that little white triangle. That's your locking. So I'm going to lock that out so I don't accidentally select it. So now I can go here and Shift click there. That makes more sense. Now Command or Control P, keep transform. There it is.
Okay.
See?
Okay. Oh, it worked. Oh crap.
All right, and then you can go into your guide. All right, go to your guide. Go to your edit mode. 2 key, select that. And then what we're going to do, right click and go to our subdivisions and come right down here and decide how many subdivisions we want.
Now you're recording all of this, right,
Of course.
Steve? Okay, because I'll
will do
be
nothing less,
practicing.
I will do nothing less for you.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is. I mean, once you get this down, you won't forget. Right? It's really easy. All you're doing is just going in here and telling it to use the vertices or the faces, whatever your choice is, as the instancing area, and then anything that's going to be parented to it is going to be the instance object. As simple as that.
Now, once you put the rivets, you should be able to see the rivets both in object mode and in edit mode, right?
Well, I'm in edit mode right now.
Okay, because I couldn't get, like, for example, the rivets on the helmet, I managed to view it in both views, but the rivets on the left pectoral, I can only see in object mode.
Well,
I had that same problem.
I don't know what you're doing. It shouldn't have happened that way. If I go back to object mode, see, you can still see it in object mode. Object or edit. I'm not
That's
quite
crazy.
sure what you're doing. Um,
At least I'm glad I'm not the only one. Thanks, Michael.
yeah, I'm not quite sure.
Oh, you're not the only one, for sure.
There's something you're doing in your workflow that's telling it not to display, but I just think you're just overcomplicating it and doing something extra you shouldn't be doing. Right? You can.
I'm famous for that. So.
Yeah, overcomplication is just what I do in the day, man.
So it's all you're doing is just whatever object you want to be the instance, parent it to it. Make sure you parent it right. Make sure that the object that's the rivet or that's going to be duplicated is not going to be the parent. It's going to be the child. Right? And you know that when you come right up over here to your menu where it says PEC guide, right? But if you drop it down, right, you've got your PEC rivet. It's a child. So just make sure that setup is there for whatever you do. So once that child and parent relationship has been established, then all you do is come over here and say, hey, make under instancing vertices or face. And it'll work. All right. All right. If you want to, or if you're in the mood, I'd love to see you finish up more rivets on the robots, like around the face plates, around the sides of the body, the back, all around the edges of this thing, and even some areas in here. Maybe you're going to have different types of rivets.
Yeah, actually, they meant to have rivets around the abdomen and also on the legs.
Like if we go up in here, this is the beautiful thing about if I come in here to the sphere, I'm selecting the sphere. There's my sphere, and I want to change the nature of the rivet. Right, I can go with the sphere selected as a child. Just go in there and edit this thing. And I think what I'll do is I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees on the x-axis there. So RX90, and they all change exactly the same way, as you can see here. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go grab these faces. Let's do it this way. Grab all those faces. Command or Control plus extends this out. Okay, bring it on up. Okay, I'm going to bring it up one more. Command plus. And what I want to do is take everything below it and flatten it out along a single plane. So the quick and easy way to do it is right click, loop tools, flatten. That's kind of a pain in the ass. Let me go undo that one there. Let's see.
Did you just delete it and then extrude the final ring?
Right. I'm gonna delete it. Delete the faces. There we go. And then come over here. Go to the 2 key. Do the edge, and then F key for fill. All right. Now I'm going to hit the E key for extrude. I'm going to right click and put it back. S for scale. That's not what I wanted. So if I extruded that out, okay. Let me do this again. E key for extrude. We'll bring it down. This is good. Okay, S for scale. Bring it on out. Okay. E for bring it down like this. See, I've changed the nature of the rivets on all of them.
Oh, nice.
So that's the real advantage of instancing. So I can just edit that one piece. All right.
Would it be horrible not to have that bottom face? Does it muck around with
What do you
things? Like you have when you filled, you created that bottom plane, right?
For 3D printing, you gotta have it. Gotta be airtight.
Cool.
Gotta be airtight. So if I come here, object, select that object, Command I for select everything else, and hide everything else.
And airtight means it would have needed a bottom, or you go in and solidify and give it some
That's
dimension.
right. Now here, this will not work. That box is not airtight. It will not print. And we're gonna explore that today. I wanted to get into the 3D printing software today, so maybe I'll keep this handy.
But if that's intersecting another polygon, then isn't that considered airtight?
Yes.
Yeah, it should be.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. I just want to make sure I
As
understand.
long as both polygons are airtight, your 3D software is going to recognize it as one complete piece.
Because you basically hit the body. That pectoral is connected to the body, and so it should print.
No.
Okay.
This pictorial will not print.
Even if it's connected to the body?
It's not connected to the body. They're two separate objects. This one will not print because it's not airtight.
Okay.
Everything has to be airtight.
But it's connected to the body.
No, it isn't. If it's not airtight, your 3D printing software will not see it connected to the body.
So would you instead of having two separate objects, would you then join that
hold on.
pectoral
Hear
with the
what I'm
body?
saying. No, I will not join them. I'll keep them separate. But I'll keep them separate as two airtight pieces. Right? So this is not airtight. This is an open face with one solid, edge.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's not airtight.
Well, I guess I'm not sure if we're saying two different things. Because I agree. If it's not airtight, it doesn't print. I've known that for years. But because this is an extrusion from the body in an external geometry, and it's connected to the body. The two geometry should make an airtight.
This is showing me that
piece.
it's not connected to the body. I just inversed. I selected this, inversed everything in Blender, and hid all the inversed parts. This is the part that's left over. This part is not airtight.
Understood.
Now-
But when it's going to be if it's part of the entire whole and it's printing in the entire whole, and that geometry intersects with another part or is butt up against another part, then doesn't
We're going to save this one because we're going to start getting into the 3D printing software, and I'm going to show you what's going to happen. So hold that thought. Hold that thought.
Yeah, I think the thing here is intersecting versus being part of the
Right. That's right. I
object.
mean, you can intersect objects. You can overlap them, provided that every object is airtight. Every object is not airtight. This object here, that object there is not airtight.
Yeah, I see.
Right? So you know what airtight is and what it means, but you're not quite connecting how the 3D printer is going to see it.
Right.
So we'll see. We're going to save this one. So I'm going to save this out, save as, and I'm going to save this one for print test. I'm going to call it print test. Okay, cool. All right, let's go look at someone else's real fast. Open. That tank is who's that one? There we go. Where are the rivets? Are they turned off?
Sorry. No, I got so busy blocking out, and then I ran out of time. And then the dang treads were supposed to be like I tried doing them along a spline. It kept turning my treads, which are supposed to be spun 90 degrees, right? So they're much wider as they're thin. They're double wide, but for whatever reason, I couldn't get the spline thing to work. And then Yeah, I ended up just blocking everything out.
Okay, so you're not done with it yet.
No,
All right.
no.
So then, should I just share it with everybody and then just let it go?
Yeah, I mean, if there's anything you want to say about
Well,
design or you might
it's
see
coming
issues.
along. It's coming along pretty good. Um, I guess I would love to see more. Oh, you got a little ways to go. I mean, I guess I would, add a nice little, maybe a quick little bevel to this. Let's see if a bevel is going to help with this here. We got a bevel. Let's see what we've got. All right. So now sometimes the bevel's not going to work because you've got so many angles in here that it's only going to allow you to bevel so far. And this is half as well, right? So if I turn off the mirror. And you want to be careful of this. You want to make sure that your inside polys are deleted.
Correct.
Did you see that here? So you see these two faces. You want to delete
The faces, yes.
there? Okay,
I
yeah.
do.
That might help things there. If I go in here and delete this.
Yep.
Actually, let's go over here and go to this. No, it's just a pain.
Is there an easier way of selecting all the vertices that are right behind each other instead of going into X-ray mode all the time?
Let's see. Well, yeah, you can turn things. You can hide things. Like for example, I can hide all this. I was just being lazy, basically. I can come over. Well, you know what? You can turn off here. We go back to object mode. You can turn off. Like, okay, this one here, you don't have a mirror mode on this, right? So I'm gonna have to go.
Because I tried every time I tried mirroring it over, it kept like welding itself, and then I had to like.
All right.
When I had to
Well,
the final mesh, move the vertices, delete the other half, and then slide that over. Like I couldn't figure out how to take that fender and mirror it across the.
All right, let's address.
I had the same issue, Jet.
Okay.
All right, so let's do this. I'm gonna delete it. I'm gonna get rid of it completely.
Okay. Thanks.
Now, what we're gonna do is, it looks like you have everything organized along the world axis here, right? Correct. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're going to make sure your 3D cursor is there. So Shift S. Cursor to world origin. All right, which it looks like you have. I was just making sure. From here, go ahead and what you're going to do is you're going to add an empty. Right? You're going to parent everything to the empty, not to the origin of the actual geometry you're working with. So we go to arrows and we're going to name this something. Now say this is going to be the body, right? So we're going to say empty, keep the word empty, and then dot body so that you know all your empties. And you can see it's a different symbol, but just for ease of tracking things down, keep it empty dot body. Now take this and put it into the body folder. So M, new collection, and put it in body. And when I'm doing my starships and stuff, I keep really organized this way. Because I'm going to have 500 different parts to my starships. Right. And I'm not going to rename each part, but I can rename them in groups. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the body itself, which is, let me just turn this X-ray off. Select that body there. I'm going to consider that part of the body as well. All right, that I'm going to call turret. I'm going to put that in a separate group. M key, select the body. Boom, done. Right? So now all your body parts is in your body group. Everything. So now from here, I'm going to target my body here once again. Come on. Did it freeze up on me or something? There we go. Test that. Oh, did I get locked? I got locked. Sorry. Body got locked. Okay, there we go. Now unlock it. So with the body, there's my body. You're going to parent that to what? That body empty. So select this, and then select the empty.
Yep.
Control P
For
for
parent.
parent. So now everything that's going to be mirrored along this empty should also be parented to it.
What did you select when you hit
Actually,
Control
empty-
P?
is that
Was it
empty-
just
hold on a second,
object?
that empty got moved or something? Let me see. That empty. Let me undo the. Okay, I parented the wrong way, guys. My fault. Command Z. Command Z. All right. So Command Z. There's the empty body. All right. So I want to select the body first, then the empty last. So the empty becomes the parent. Now, what's disturbing is I thought I put the empty on the world center. So I'm gonna target the empty. The empty, it should be, yeah, there it is. That's right. That's correct. Okay, so here's the problem. I'm gonna right click and make the origin to the geometry. We're gonna just set the geometry's origins to itself. That's fine. All right.
Okay.
So now we'll select the empty as the last thing, and Control P and object, and yeah, it's doing it again. Why is the empty? Wait a minute. Empty body. Yeah, the empty is being child. I don't know why it's doing that.
Maybe the other way around?
Oh, let me try it. There's another way you can do it too. You can shift drag. So here is the fender. There is the empty, right? And if I hold the shift key and drag the fender into the empty, it should, there, empty body, and there is the cube. Okay, so that's a fast way of parenting. So shift click the object you want to parent into the parent, and then it'll show the hierarchy right here. Does that make sense? Okay, that's what I was trying to do. So now if I go grab the empty, there it is. The empty is right on the 0, 0, 0 axis, and if I move the empty, see, all that's parented to it. All right, now the reason I'm showing you this is because now we go to the fender, and we're going to mirror this. So we only want to do half. So we go over here to mirror, and immediately by instinct it wants to mirror according to its own local orientation, right? We don't want that. So we come over down here in the modifier properties. It's on the x-axis. That is what we want. But we don't want the parent to the orientation of the object. We want it to what?
The empty.
Let me, what you can do is you can just type it in up here, like EM, and then there it is.
Empty body 01.
Empty body 01, right there. Click it, boom, there it is.
Sweet.
And then now what you can do is parent everything to the empty body 01. You know, anything that needs to be a parent, like these wheels, it's the same thing here. You simply go to modifier at this point, mirror on the x-axis, go get empty body 01. Empty body 01, boom. See?
Dig it.
Right? And that's your workflow. That's your working professional workflow.
That just saved, dude.
It saves you a
Thank
lot
you.
of
That
time.
saved me so much time.
Yeah, same here, because I thought you had to do an empty and mirror every one, but it looks like you can just use the same empty.
Same empty as much as you want. So like this little thing here,
The exhaust.
which is not an which is, we can, let's see where. Let me go over to your body, find out where now. Keep in mind where your actual geometry is, on what side it's on, because they're both going to look exactly the same, and you're going to forget. So just go to the mirror, turn it off, so it's this side over here. So that means we'll go delete this one here. See, and now what happens is, what you're doing is you're making instances. Therefore, you can work faster and less memory is being utilized. So select that one there and just give it a mirror. Mirror, go get empty. Empty body, there you go, boom, done.
Say, Stephen, can I ask you for another real quick
Sure.
tip, please? If you take off the array and the curve on my tank tread, you'll see what it's supposed to look like in the correct orientation. Can you give me a tip on that?
Okay,
Like,
so here's my array. If I turn off the array, okay, there it is.
see, so it's supposed and if you turn off the
All right, let me
curve,
turn off the curve.
see, so I had to futz with it all kinds of different ways, but it's supposed to be, points are supposed to go
Right.
up, right? And my idea was points are supposed to go up, and I just duplicate them along
Along
the
curve.
curve that I
Right.
made. But they come out all kinds of, like, you see that, okay, so that's right. That's correct. You know, they're not facing the right way in that they should be points up.
Right. So
But-
I'm thinking like this should be pointed. Let's see. You got a factor of 19. This is 1. Let's see. Let's go 1 here. There you go. But we want to go in a different direction. I think you want to go in the Y direction. So 0 here. Y that way. That's the direction your tread's going to be going in.
Word, got you. And then I flip the actual rotation in from 180 to 0, so that way the points are
and of
up,
course
right?
you do that in edit mode. Okay.
Correct.
All right. So if I turn on, now you've got a curve modifier applied to it. So if I turn on the curve modifier, it's in Z axis when you think you want to go Y. Or let me see, X. Okay.
So it's getting there.
So you want to go X. See how that's going toward the center 0, 0, 0.
Right. So I've got to come out of all of this and then come to the
Now, if you want,
object that I'm trying to duplicate and have it face right side up, because right now the treads are going the opposite
going to the
way.
array, we're doing this, we got to add more. Now, here's a trick here. You got fixed count. You can go to fixed curve.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Why does it not work? Oh, we got to get the curve.
Okay, you set the curve.
Oh, so it's still stopping. Oh, I see. It should have gone all the way around the whole curve. It should have
Right.
automatically did a fixed curve. Bezier curve. Is that the right curve? I guess that's the only curve we've got.
It's the only curve I got.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just do. We'll stick with fixed count. Then we'll just add more. There. Almost there. Let me go to X-ray mode so we can see what we're doing. Oh, 1 there. Okay, we'll just do that. Okay, there it is.
And then I come out in an edit mode, flip the original
flip it
spikes
around.
to.
So let's see. Tab, edit mode. There's the original. It's upside down from the beginning. So hit the
Right.
A. I'm gonna go over here to my transform. Rotate this on the x-axis. So R, X, 90.
180.
180. Okay. So we'll go 180. There we go. Enter. There it is. Now get out of here, go to object mode, and it sets it up.
Nice.
Okay.
And then if I, it's weird, right? I have the spline directly on top of the wheels. It's a perfect kind of like, but it's still intersecting with the wheels. So do I have to make the spline larger?
Yeah, I would go with the spline at this point. So let me see what what happens. There's a couple ways we can do it. So if I get out of here, object mode, go get that spline. We got to go up here. Now, we got to put all this in the group too, right? So this,
Correct.
that. I'm assuming this.
Yep.
I think I've got that, and then the spline is in there somewhere. I'll come back and get it. So we'll call this one Treads. New collection Treads. Okay, there they are in their own. See, everything's in their own separate collection now. Now you can keep track
Sweet.
of things way easier. Now once the treads are there, we have to go get that spline, right?
It's right below it. It's right below it. It's right below treads.
Oh, there it is. We just simply take it and drag it inside. Boom, just like Photoshop.
Sweet.
They're all in there. So now we go get the spline right there. Spline is turned off, and select it to turn it on. Let me turn off. Let's see, turn that off. No, I'm going to need that on temporarily. All right, now I'm going to make the spline a little bigger. Hit the S key for scale. No, that's not going to work. Where is your spline to begin with?
Can you offset on the
I think
spline?
he's offset. So if I come over here to
I didn't do anything. I like the spline is pretty vanilla.
no, not the spline. I'm thinking offset on the actual
The-
tread.
Tread.
Oh,
Because it says constant
Oh, that's the
offset.
constant.
Oh, that's
That's the
relative
relative
offset.
offset,
too.
but that's for the spacing in between. Going up and down. Don't.
Well, would that depend on the actual object itself? So if you move the actual
Right.
object
So they get,
up a
select
little
the
bit.
object. Let me see what happens if I go. There it is.
Yeah, there you go.
Some way too much. We didn't need to go much. Just a teeny bit. Just to keep just a little bit of a movement. Yeah, there you go.
right. Because my idea was I created a linkage between the spikes and a link, and I wanted it to alternate between a spike and a link and a
Right.
spike and a link.
Right.
So now I would do
With
the
the
same
links.
thing with the link, put them in between.
And you can go to that one spike if we go to edit and just model the link onto it. Just one link to one
I
side,
guess I could do that.
right? Just one link on one side. You could do
Question: Is it possible? Because you obviously want the spike sitting on the wheel, right?
Correct.
The bottom of the spike to sit on the wheel. Is there a way of being able to tell Blender, I want you to put it exactly right
Yeah.
there?
yeah.
Without having to guess with the arrows and stuff.
Because what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna take the original spike and I'm gonna double its width.
Yeah,
So it's
keep
not
in mind
just
that
on
when
half.
you're using these modifiers are distorting your objects to some extent too. There's a
Gotcha.
yeah,
I
there's a
noticed
little bit of
that
distortion.
when.
There's a technique for that to avoid that as well.
Yeah, I noticed that a little bit when I hit the wrong
Right.
axis. I would see the spikes like turn in on themselves or try to
Right.
curve.
Right. I'll address that in just a little bit.
So cool. Like all I got to do is put a couple of gas tanks on there and some I'll probably end up putting some ladder rungs on there and the rivets obviously in the plating and I'll be pretty close to.
Get your rivets on here. Now
Yes,
that
sir.
once we did what we did, now that we go to the body, let's see if we get any effect with the bevel. There we do.
Word.
Right? We got a good effect with the bevel now. All right, so if I come over to here, hold my shift key and drag it, do something like that, and then add a little.
Oh, we got some nice.
So
Not everything's so
what
dang
you're gonna
angular.
find out, especially when we start getting into character rigging and stuff for Blender, if your polygons aren't right, nothing's gonna work right. Blender is really good at making damn sure that everything is right. but not bad.
So as a newbie, I'm observing that if you want to use an empty, because see, my whole thinking would have been for those treads is an empty, but I realized you can't do that with something oblong. It has to be either mirrored or round. Am I thinking right? And that's why he moved over to a spline.
Okay, he moved to a spline to make his work effort a lot more easier and more cost effective.
And also because it's an oblong, you can't really pull that off with an empty, I imagine. You know what I'm saying?
No.
You know what I'm saying? The final look of the treads is an oblong shape as opposed to round or
whatever the final look is going to be, you have to model it as in your spline, spline. And so you've got a lot of tools to help you, right? So I'll give you a quick little fast thing, and then we'll go on to the next person's homework. I saved this just in case. Let me just make a new one here. If you wanted to make a quick little tread system, you can use a plane. All right. So we go Shift A, mesh, go to a plane. All right. We'll just go to the top view for now. I'm going to pull this out like that. And I'm going to go ahead and set all my transformations. Go into my edit mode. Right. Go to my edit mode, silly. There we go. Go to my point view, select these 2 points down here, bring them together. Starting to look like a tank tread system. And then from here, select all these because you want to make the wheels that it's going to wrap around, right? That curve. Command B. Okay. And we will come over to here to my bevel panel and say I want vertices. And we mess with the width. And we mess with the segments. Just like that. Well, too strong in some of these areas, but not that. I want to take that to there and take that to there, something like this. Okay. Maybe I'll grab all these and give it some. Pull this on over here. Grab all these here. Pull these on over. All right. Grab my face. X. Only faces. Delete only the faces. That leaves my edge. Right? So that
is that considered a curve?
It is not considered a curve. Excellent question.
Okay.
How do we make it a curve?
You can right click and tell it to be a curve.
Object mode, right click, convert to curve, and there you go.
Nice.
Bingo.
Then all you got to do is just modify it a little bit to make the exact shape you want, and then that's your curve.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it took me a little while to figure out the differences between curves and edges, right? Those curves you're going to be using to animate with. Mm-hmm. Edges are not. Edges to model with.
Mm-hmm. How do you make a pill shape? How do you make a pill shape?
Oh, easy.
Gotcha.
You figured it out already?
Yeah. Nice.
Steve, how do you do select connected with just one level of connection? L selects everything, but if you want to just select the neighbors, just the immediate neighbors.
So
in Lightwave, we have the bracket keys to grow and shrink our selection.
You already know it because I've been using it the entire time. Select that, right? Well, we go to 3. Select their face. You want to select the next group up. Control plus. Control plus. Control plus.
Oh,
that's
Control
right.
plus.
Now to reduce it, Control minus. Control minus. Control minus.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Lightwave, I think it's the shift bracket to the right, shift bracket to the left.
Yeah, left bracket, right bracket grows and shrinks. Yeah.
So use that regularly, so it becomes set in your brain. All right, let's go take a look at somebody. Do I need to look at anybody else's homework?
Could you look at mine?
All right, which one is
please? The submarine version 7.
7. Is it called? Oh, there it is. Got it.
To your left. I was having a problem with the back end plates
Okay.
right there. No matter what I did to set both the set both everything to the origin, I don't know what happened. I couldn't get it
So
to work
let's start
properly.
from fresh. Go over here, and
And you can see how I've got a collection called tail rivets. You see, there's the tail original, which is the whole piece, tail plates by themselves. And so, I mean, if you want to, you
offset
can.
somehow. You can see it's matching your shape. You just got it offset.
Yeah, the shape is matching, but the
All
offset,
right,
and I
I'm gonna
don't
go to
know.
Control P. I mean Alt P to clear the parent completely. See if that's. Oh, you know what? I know what it is. You got it inside here as an object. You did it in an edit mode. Tab key, edit mode.
Oh, son of a seahorse.
Oh, language.
Sorry, John.
You get an edit mode or something like that. Yeah, I would just you did something really weird here.
You can delete that because I have the original
Yeah.
plates right there, and so go ahead and delete
So
that
delete this
layer,
here, and then original.
and then yeah,
There's the
right
place.
there.
All right. So
Yeah. So do it the same thing you did before with the setting the origin and then making
Okay.
a sphere to it.
So here, we just set it where it is. So right click, set origin to geometry, just to get that out of the way. All right. Now your
Right.
3D cursor, we can do the same thing. So Shift S, cursor to select it. There it is. Now it's matching your geometry. Now Shift A, sphere, S,
Mm-hmm.
scale it down to what you want, like that.
Mm-hmm.
With that selected still, Control A, rotation and scale. Apply that transformation. Now select that.
Oh.
Shift select this. Command P.
Uh-huh.
There's your parent. Boom. See?
Okay, so two things I did wrong was I did it in edit object instead of
Probably,
object
yeah.
mode.
They gotta be
Okay.
two separate
All right.
objects. And what happened was this was
Yeah.
you already had these set vertices, as you can see here. If I go to none, boom, they go away.
Right. Yeah.
You go
So parenting only in object mode. Parenting only in
because they have to be
object
two
mode.
separate objects. But Blender needs
Yeah,
to see it as two separate objects. So look, you've got none here, parent to vertices here, not parent but instance to vertices here, or instance to faces. You
Right.
can select what you want.
If you turn on the tail original, you should see the whole
All right.
structure.
Go to tail.
Yeah. So then, because I figured I would just mirror everything.
Yeah, exactly. So you can just mirror this, and so what he can do is, now, let's see, is this on your? Okay, I'm assuming that's mirrored on your axis. So once again, put in. I'm gonna shift. I guess will that work there? No, it's probably not. Well, if I mirror it this way, I think this can work. If I go to my mirror command, all right, It's mirroring on itself. So what we want to do is give I'm thinking I can use one modifier to mirror this if I do this right. Okay, so if I mirror it on the x-axis, all right, I'm going to take a chance. Shift A, come over here, give it an empty arrows. It parented. See, the problem is it parented the empty to where that last 3D cursor is. So Shift S, put the cursor to the world origin. Right? Now go get that empty, select the empty, which is what I've got. And Shift S, selection to cursor right there at the top. Selection to cursor. Now it puts the empty dead center. This here mirror using the empty. Is it empty or empty 001?
Empty.
Okay. On the x-axis. Oh, it's the y-axis. There. Okay. So if I go to the front view, yeah, this is good. This should work. This should work. now we're gonna parent this to the z-axis. Just hit the Z. Boom.
Get out of here.
All
Get
done.
out of here.
And all you did was do a quarter. Doesn't that piss you off?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
It's awesome. Yeah, but it's awesome.
Isn't it? So
It is awesome. It is awesome.
so it's just one quarter. That's all you need to do.
Weed it
And
is.
then just turn on your Y and Z.
Mm-hmm.
Parenting is done.
Dang. And then I just got the slit.
So for circular objects,
Who's asking the question?
well, I was going to ask him, but I think I spoke over someone else.
Go ahead, Jose.
Basically, so for circular objects, it is, I mean, or something that's completely symmetrical. Theoretically, you only need to do
Exactly.
a quarter.
It's completely symmetrical.
Then I just have to solidify the panels.
Yeah, that's easy to do. You just simply give it another modifier right now. Here. Solidify. See, do you have a subdivision surface in here somewhere? Or is it?
No, turn off
Alright,
auto
over
shade.
here and shade flat. Make sure you guys do that for your 3D
Yep.
for your 3D printing. There. So shade flat, and there's your paneling.
Look at that, Bob's your uncle. Dang. Or Steve's your uncle now.
Okay, so let's see, is that the original on? There we go. Now we can see it better. There we go. See, all that extra work, very little effort. I mean, that was what Jen had noticed about Blender, was that she can model things very quickly in a very short period of time. So now, just keep in mind that you've got points on the inside and the outside, because this is now, 4 points for each panel, right? Well, no, 4 points for 2 points for each corner.
Right.
So that was the reason why we did the line or the edge template, so that we can control exactly where those points go.
Oh.
All right. So we don't want them to go here. We want them to go on the inside, and then control that. So just keep that in mind. Okay. So even though you're saving time, you still got to work.
Right? Yeah. But it's only 4 steps as opposed to 16.
All right. If I turn off all these modifiers, this is it. That's all we did to do all that.
Very
Right.
cool.
Cool. Let's go to the next thing. You spent a lot of time on this. There's some tools inside here I wanted to make you aware of. And you have a 3D print tool built into Blender. I want to talk about the software. You guys want to take a 10-minute break?
Yes, please.
Okay, all right.
Yes, please.
Let's do a 10-minute break. I'm going to pause the recording now. Start recording. And I'm going to stop sharing and we'll share Zari's screen. Santosh is not here.
Okay. Okay. So, we are in edit mode. Faces, right? Can't select. Oh, selected that one. There. Well, the problem I was encountering was this. There were these dots outside of these things over here on this side. And then when I clicked on them, they changed, and then I was able to select the face. Now everything disappeared, but there were like these dots here on this side. That's what was preventing me from see these guys. So now I couldn't select or something. When I clicked on these guys,
Oh, like that dot below. Oh,
I don't know what these mean, these dots mean, but after I clicked on them, then I could
Right, but
select them.
are you in edit mode or are you in object mode? You're in edit mode? Okay.
I was in edit mode, yeah. I still couldn't select faces or whatever until I clicked on these so here's this cube, right? And yeah, it wouldn't let me
but you know why?
select. As soon as I click on that, then I can't select it.
Yeah. See, what's happening is you're in object mode the entire time. You were in edit mode for the big one, but you were in object mode for the small one. So by clicking that little symbol to the left, it puts you into edit mode for that object.
Oh, that clears things up. So edit mode and object mode are per object,
That's what
not a
they're per
global
object. Or you
setting?
can select them all together. If you select all of them together in object mode and then hit edit mode, and then they all can be edited together.
Okay. That was my not understanding. I thought that was like a global, either you're in edit mode or you're in object
No.
mode for everything. Okay. Important tip.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. I'm glad you cleared that up.
It's like looking at it's kind of like, oh,
Thank you so much.
He's still in the. Okay, cool. All right. All right. Important stuff coming up. Let's now. I want to use this as an example. I want to start addressing the 3D software, the printing software. Now, I told you guys, I had you guys download Cura. So, I had you download Cura. So I'm going to have you open it up now. So Ultimaker, go to your Ultimaker, it's the name of the company, and open up Cura. 5 point something. Ultimaker at 5.2.1. And we're going to use this little robot guy as an example. There's a bunch of different ways that we can 3D print this. All right.
You're gonna pick on my robot. And you're gonna pick on my robot, I see.
Okay, so we're dealing with it with obviously, as you can tell, a platform. Right click and drag, rotates.
I think you need to share your screen.
Good point.
Oh.
There we go. All right, so right click and drag rotates. The middle mouse button will pan. So it's basically kind of using the similar shortcuts to Blender, or the original Blender. And your scroll wheel will zoom in and out. So right click to rotate, middle click to pan, and scroll wheel to zoom in and out. Okay, so your printer, I'm going to set this up. It's set up now for my Ender 5. So when you set up your printer, and we're gonna get much more into modeling techniques next week, but I wanted to make sure we start addressing some of the 3D printing software. In Cura, it's going to ask you when you first load it on. It's going to ask you what software what software is this going to be printing to? What printer is it going to be printing to? Right up here in your top left-hand corner, mine says Ender 5. Yours is going to say something else. But if you drop it down, right down here, we can add a printer. So if you click on Add a Printer, and we're going to talk about printers that I recommend that you should get in just a little bit. It brings up another dialog box. And let's see, it should be right down here. It says Add a non-networked printer. Click it. And on the left-hand side, it's giving you all these different styles of printer. Of the entire Ultimaker line, or the entire, let's see, we go in alphabetical order. You got all these different companies, Anycubic, and mine is a Creality. So if you have a printer already, find your printer. Okay, mine is a Creality 3D. I'm gonna drop it down, and mine is the Ender 5 Plus, which I've already have selected. Well, I've already have installed. So once I add that in there, which it already is, it's going to show up right up here. Now, does anybody here have a 3D printer?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
So Jose, did you find your printers on here?
Well, my printer's a resin printer, Steve, not a PLA.
Okay, so then there's
I use Chitu Box as
Have you
my.
tried Lychee yet?
I have not.
Lychee.
I have not. Okay.
And I'll
look for it.
Yeah,
I'll look for it.
Talk to Lychee. All right, we'll go with this for now. All right, so if in my Ender printer now you probably have the question, what is the best? Now this is a FDM printing software, so it's a filament printing software. Your question probably is, well, what is the best filament printing software out there? And this is it. It's Cura, and it's free. Cura is outstanding, and very in depth. Now, right up here where it says my Cura Ender 5 Plus, I can see more about my printer if I drop this down and go to Manage Printers. Target Manage Printer, I can come over here. Now, if there's a firmware update for my printer, I can click that button to update the firmware. So if your company puts out a new firmware, it's going to be in the form of a hex file, an HEX file, a .hex. If I go to the machine settings and click it, it's going to give you information about your settings. In other words, how large is your platform? What is the volume footprint that your platform will print? Mine is going to be a 350 millimeter by 350 millimeter by 400. So that's basically about like a 13-inch by 13-inch by 14-inch high. So it's a good sized platform. Now, the build plate is obviously rectangular. And then it gives you some G code down here. So G code is what your printer is going to be using to print all of your 3D stuff, right? Even for resin printers, it's using a type of a G code. This initial G code is telling your printer to lay down some filament to kind of prime the nozzle to get it out, and then start printing the actual print. That's all this code is telling it to do. The actual printing happens from the G code that's going to be rendered from the 3D object that you have on your platform, which we have yet to do. All right, go to your extruder is your nozzle. Now, the nozzle filament size that you will be using pretty much for the rest of your life will be a 1.75 millimeter. 1.75 millimeter thickness filament. And that's all you need to have in here. Is just have that set up. Now I'm going to click the X to get this out. Now I'm going to talk about filaments. And I'm going to go over to Amazon real quick, and I'm going to share with you the type of filament that I highly recommend that you use. I strongly recommend that you use. There's a lot of different filaments out there. I also highly recommend that you experiment and explore. But the filament that I use on a regular basis, I've found to be some of the best quality and strength and consistent, high resolution detail. Let me go here and I'll show you.
While you're finding that, I just want to confirm that this program, Cura, is really just for PLA, not resin.
This Cura is for any filament based material, PLA.
Okay, got it.
ABS. What's the other ones? Oh God.
All the stuff that's
correct.
stranded. Okay.
It's for FDM printers. FDM filament something. Any filament printer, that's what it'll be good for.
Right, I have a small Creality resin. I got to pick up an FDM one.
Yeah, and I'm going to recommend that to you right now. But first, let me talk about the filament. So what I use is a company called eSun. This is outstanding. If I click on it, let's see if we get a side view of this here. There we go. You get to see the specs on it. It's a 1 kilogram spool, which is basically a spool that's almost as wide as your head. It'll last you a long time. And this, if you look at the temperature printing settings there, the print temp is 205 to 225. And every manufacturer is going to give you a temperature range that for that recommended filament. These are very important because you're going to be doing tests in order to determine how to best print without stringing and how to best print without overheating or underheating. Okay, so the higher temperatures tell me that the average printing temperature of most PLA out there is like anywhere from 180 to 200. They're lower. This is a higher temperature range, which means that the resulting print is going to be stronger. It's going to be a lot more solid, a lot stronger. So that's why this is called PLA plus. See, notice a plus symbol afterwards? That's what you want. That's all I print with. Could you buy some cheapy ass stuff? Yeah, but then you never really know the best quality that you can produce. So this is $25, $24.69 on Amazon for a 1 kilogram spool. And that'll last you quite a long time, depending on what you're printing. There are other stuff out there, like Hatchbox. I've played around with Hatchbox. Let me take a look at that. Hatchbox PLA. PLA stands for polylactic acid. Well, what is that? All PLA is made from oil. It's made from corn oil. It's organic. So you're not going to die from breathing it, anything like that. Right? It's PLA. So this one, let's see, we got this side. This one, the printing temperature right here is 180. It's much lower than the other one, right? It's 180 to 210. It's a much softer filament. A lot of people use it. I hate it because it strings like hell. When I mean stringing, I mean little fine little spider web stringing in between certain areas of your print, right? It strings like hell because it's a much lower temperature, melting temperature. I do highly recommend that you explore and experiment. There's a lot of different types of name brands out there. Even Amazon's got its own brand out there. And then you've got Matter Hackers. We'll go take a look at their site in just a little bit. Let's just put in PLA period and see what they've got. And if you go, you got here's my mouse. You got Overtures, another brand name. Let's see what the melting temp is on this. This is 190 to 200, so it's a little to 220. So it's a lower range but a higher range in terms of a much wider range of. I'm assuming it's a much softer PLA. Let me go back. And you got all these different name brands in here. You can kind of play this. The eSun, there's Sunlu is another one. You've got we got Kingron, Elegoo, which makes printers, as you well know. Amazon Basics. Amazon's got its own PLA out now, competing against everybody else. So Anycubics got theirs. Polymaker, Hatchbox, Sunlu. There's a lot of different name brands in here. So play around there. You're also going to find that certain colors may have a different characteristic. All right. Here's one where you can buy for $49 some smaller spools of different colors, just for you to play with. Okay. I recommend that you start with and master the eSun first. Use the eSun as your base. And then from there, go and explore and play with other stuff. Okay. And this just comes from making a lot of mistakes and experimenting with a lot of different types of filaments. I went to Chris Cox, who used to be the lead programmer for Photoshop, who's no longer with Adobe right now. He was doing 3D printing. He highly recommended this. And they also recommended Hatchbox and a couple of the name brands, but he thought this was one of the better ones, and that's what I went with. Okay, printers. The printer I recommend that you have. I'll tell you what I used to have. Well, what I have currently. We go to Creality, and these are low-cost, high-quality printers. The Ender 3, you can get this for a lot less than $380. You can get this for under $200. The Ender 3, they're cheap. Here right there, $189. The Ender 3 here. It's basically a 9.5 by a 9 1/4, or it's a 9-inch by 9-inch by 9-inch high. All right, it's something that it'll print out high quality prints. And it won't break your wallet at all. If you want to kind of start experimenting with this stuff, I highly recommend this magnetic. Now it may come with magnetic removal, like it looks like this. If you buy this one, it looks like it's going to come with the magnetic. No, it doesn't. You have to actually clip it on with clips. All right, so it's gonna have a metal base plate. That's going to heat up. Heating up that base plate, you're going to heat up anywhere between 60 and 70 degrees Celsius. That process of heating is what attracts the plastic while it's melted and allows it to adhere to the plate. The minute that plate cools off and gets cold, your plastic will just slip right off. It'll just come off very, very easily. Depending on what you're using, I use glass or I use a mirror, and it'll slip off easily. If you're using this type of a plating, as you can see here, it's designed to make it stick. So you bend it, you flex it to flex the plastic off the surface. I recommend these things here. It's a magnetic plate. You get 2 pieces, right? The magnet, you actually, it has double-sided adhesive. The magnet portion, you take the adhesive off and you stick it to your metal plate on the bed, and then this top portion here. Let's go click this. This top portion here, which is what we're looking at it from upside down, is a magnet, and it'll just stick right on nice and flush. So you can peel that off and flex it to flex your piece off as well. I have this on my Ender 3s and I love it because this material here, what you see there, it sticks to it. The plastic sticks to it really well, and it's just $11.
No need for painter's tape? No need for painter's tape?
No need for painter's tape. I think it's bullshit. Never worked for me.
Yeah. Really? That's all I use. Really?
Yeah,
that's all I use.
For me, it just never worked. I use a mirror, and I've never ever have to use tape. I never have to use any glue. I never have to use any spray stuff, hair net spray stuff. I just write on the raw mirror. Keep your mirror clean if you're using a mirror.
A glass mirror or on metal? A glass mirror or on metal?
Glass mirror.
Okay. Okay.
Now here's the caveat about mirrors. When the bigger printers, Creality used to send this thick piece of glass. It was like a 1/4 inch thick piece of glass that came with your CR10s. Let me show you those real quick. Creality CR10S.
And I imagine you gotta give the machine a few minutes to heat that glass up then.
And it'll tell you. Your temperature range will tell you on there. Okay, this is a CR10. No, this is not the CR10. This is a CR10S5, it looks like. What is this? Why is it showing... Oh, maybe that is a CR... No, that looks like a CR10S5. The CR10S5 is a 20 inch by 20 inch by 20 inch. I have one of those too. I want the CR10S's. That looks like it there. Oh, no. Okay, why are you giving me Creality? Yeah, I'm just gonna put in CR10S. CR10S. Come on. CR10S. CR10, same thing. Large platform. This is a CR10S5. I was right. That's a 20 inch by 20 inch, 700 something bucks. $279 for the CR10. The difference is that let me just click on it. This is a 12 by 12 inch by 14 inch high. That's a nice little build plate. And for what you're paying for, it's about $279. The reason this is not that expensive is because what was that?
Great price. That's a great price.
It's a great
That's
price.
A great
it's a
price.
very good price. The CR10S's, this is a CR10. The CR10S's, behind it, let me see if it shows the bar. The build, the Z-axis bar, which is right there. See that? On this one, it's only on one side of the printer. It's only on one side of the printer, and that's going to be your major Z-axis. On the CR10S, which you're going to spend a little bit more money for that one, you got two of those. One Z-bar here and another Z-bar on the opposite side. So these actually work really well, but you get a little bit more stability with the S. For $279, that'll be great. So if I put in like a CR10S is there, right? Okay. That's the big difference. It's the exact same thing. It's just that you get two Z bars. This one looks like it's got a Z bar. If you look right back here,
Can you explain to us what a Z-bar is? Can you explain to us what a Z-bar is, please?
Let's. Can I actually bring a?
It's basically think of it like a plane. You get the X, Y, which are side and top, front. Z is
Hold on a
up
second.
and down.
Well, I know what it is. It was just for those like, he's using terms that for some people might not
Oh,
know.
is anybody confused? Okay, so you're
Got it.
just looking out for everybody else. If I'm using a term that everybody don't know, then just let me know. It's that screw right there. See that? See if I can see the screw right there. Does everybody see that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a
Yeah.
Z-bar.
Yeah.
That is what suggesting your Z axis of your build plate, the Z height of your build plate is that screw. So you're using that screw, and pretty much all 3D printers do this. Even the resin printers uses a Z bar that looks exactly like that. All printers use a Z bar like that. FDM as well as filament.
Have you noticed a difference with the FDM? Because I'm very used to resin. I'm just curious
The
quality
reason
between a
you
single
use
and a dual.
FDM is because you can get a much bigger build, a much more stronger print for a lot less money when you buy the printer. The resin gives you this high quality, but resin also has a tendency to be brittle. So if you
a lot of what I'm doing, I'm going to be molding and making many anyhow. And also with the PLA, aren't you doing a lot of sanding and cleanup? A lot more than resin.
Absolutely. But there's little ways around that. In other words, you can print at a layer height of 0.07 millimeters, even with a filament printer, and get a pretty damn good looking print. Hold on a second. Let me grab some stuff I printed. Hold on a second. I'll bring it on in.
I'm with you, Zari. I'm with you, Zari. I prefer the resin printer simply because it has just the print quality is better. You don't have as many striations, which the cleanup on filament printers is kind of a pain.
Yeah.
Post processing is a pain, but like especially if you're like if you build with it. I did mechanical stuff, so it's like I need to do the 2 millimeter tolerance, and then I even use this smooth on product to like fill in gaps and then smooth. Yeah, the post process is a drag, but it can be so fulfilling though. I mean, and I get it, like it's more time, but the post processing is so fulfilling.
Are you still doing a lot of post processing on the resin print as well as the PLA, or more on PLA
post-processing to
and?
do. It's just not as bad as the filament print overall. But there's ways to master the filament print so you give yourself less post processing. Let's see if you can see this. How can I take off this backdrop? Oh, see if we do it this way. This is right.
Wow,
This is filament.
Oh,
this is filament printing.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Right.
damn.
You learn to
Not
master.
bad.
You be patient. You learn to master your printer. You can do some really stuff that's really close to resin printing. All right. This was printed with the CR10S. All right. This was printed. This is the same thing. Warp nacelle. Let me see. Oh gosh, warp nacelle details. I know it's fading out. Let me get it in front of me. Maybe that's what I need to do. Put it in front of me. Get it to.
So
Right, see that?
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah.
That's filament.
Yeah.
Did you post process any of that?
Nothing. This is a filament printer.
So the key is what? More layers,
That's right. More layers,
more time.
more time, better detail. This one, another version, is also filament. It's all filament. Use a tighter layer height. That's all filament. This
What hot end are you using?
the hot end that came with the come on, stupid thing. That came with the printer. I just finished this last night. This is the saucer
That's
section.
pretty.
I can get this to focus on my body behind me. There we go. Stand up like this or something. Come on, I'm here. Oh, it's using my clothes as a backdrop. Okay, that's my face. I finished that last night.
How long does that take to print?
So how long did it take this one to print?
Yeah, roughly.
4 days.
Yeah, roughly. Yeah.
4 days. This is using a 0.1/10 of a millimeter height. So it's really tight. So it looks smooth because I'm using a really tight layer height on this thing.
Would it have been faster with the resin printer?
Strong. See, I can throw this.
And there's also a size limitation
right.
to the resin
That-
printers.
yeah,
Even the bigger
that's
ones
right.
can only print.
The resin
Yeah.
printers, you're limited on size, and if you want to get a big ass size, that's like $5,000. I don't have it. I was born a poor black child,
Oh,
so.
Yeah.
So
Hey, who
So are you
told
going to
you
show
you're-
us your doomsday machine, Steve?
who told you you were black? That's what I
so
want to
this
know.
is a resin print. That's a resin print. So yeah, you can get that wonderful detail in these things, but you can also in the filament print.
Is organic better for? Is organic better for? Is resin better for
They both
organic?
would be good for organic. Just go to a tighter layer height. Now, the advantage of my resin printer is that it prints, it slices. Here, let me bring you into here. Let's bring your robot into here and take a look at this, okay? Let me share my screen. Give me a hot second. Let me share that there. Okay, everybody sees my screen? Uh-oh, did I lose you guys? Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't say anything. I thought I lost you.
We're here.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can see my screen. All right. So let's go back into Blender. Now, I want to mention some things in Blender that you must be aware of. Very important. Some issues I came up against. I should have known this, and I wasn't paying attention to it. But anyways, let's take a look. Let's turn this off. You have to make damn sure that your normals are pointing in the right direction. Okay? Blender has a wonderful way of telling you if your normals are all right or if they're all wrong. And that is if you go up here to your overlay option, come on down toward the bottom where it says face orientation. And if you click it, everything that's blue means it's facing in the right direction. Anything that's red means it's facing in the wrong direction. So we've got some problems in some of these areas, like right here. That's facing in the wrong direction, some of these areas in here. Now, I'm going to clear out some of this real quick. I'm going to hit the H key for hide. Take a look at it. Yeah, we're going to select it and Command I to select everything else, and then hit H key to hide everything else. Okay, see? It is not airtight. And I'm not going to correct it because I want you to see what's going to happen. Because I know you're saying, oh, but it's touching the model. It should be airtight. No, it's not airtight. So we're taking a look at this. So far, it looks like it's facing properly except for this side. So I click this, go to my edit mode here. Oh, that's interesting. Why did that disappear?
Yep. Now you know some of my travails.
Tab key, object mode.
Is there a modifier on
Yeah, I'm gonna go check.
Is there a
it out.
modifier on it?
Oh, what is this?
If there's a modifier, I did not
Turn
intend it to
off.
be there.
There it is. It's a Boolean tool.
Yeah. But if you apply the modifier,
I don't know.
It should
Let's
work,
find out.
right?
Apply all. All right. Now we go in here, edit. There we go. Okay. Good suggestion,
Okay.
Tony. Tony's paying attention.
every dog has his day.
All right. So it's facing the wrong direction, right? So what you can do is select all, and just it's your first thing to do to make, because we'll tell Blender to figure it out on his own, right? So select everything with the number 3 key with the face editing selected, A key to select all. All you're gonna do is just shift in for normal. Shift and then the N key for normal. That means recalculate all the normals, is what that means. And it did it. All blue, all, and then on the inside is red. Why?
Is there double polygons?
No, it's
Is there
the
double
opposite of your
polygons?
normal.
No,
That's not your normal.
correct.
Oh,
It's red. Your 3D
Okay.
program will not print red. It'll only print blue. Remember?
Okay.
If you know,
Think of the red. Think of the red as the inside of a side, and the blue as the outside of the side. So what you want is all blue to demonstrate that
you want this
everything is on the
if you,
outside.
if,
It looks
if you
like there's
want- if you want this
coplanar
country to
polygons
succeed,
on
you
there.
Vote blue. Okay.
it looks like there's
That-
coplanar polygons. It looks like there's
Yeah,
coplanar
there's some
polygons.
coplanar polygons in here somewhere. So one way is we can select them, A, and hit the M for merge, just like in Lightwave, and merge by distance.
Uh-huh.
It removed only one vertice. Something's in there acting kind of weird.
Yeah, see how. Yeah, see how.
There's something in there acting.
I got that extra edge when I was trying to
Yeah, that- you got
extrude
an extra
inside.
edge in there. So I'm not gonna worry about it right now. I want to just make you aware of what recalculate polys are. So now we can go back to our object mode. Alt H for unhide. Boom. So obviously that was not mirrored because this is two separate objects. I got to select this one over here again. Select it. Tab. Edit. Select all. Shift in for recalculate normals. And it's still acting up. So
You gotta hit the apply. You gotta hit the apply modifier.
that's right. Good point. Now, okay. Oh no, we can't do it here. We got to go to object mode. Okay, there we go. Apply all. Cool. Now go to edit mode. Now select A.
Now
shift in. Boom. There.
Okay.
Recalculate. Okay.
Do you guys get nervous when you start do you guys get nervous when you start printing
Oh,
this
trust
stuff?
me.
Because
I've made a lot of mistakes.
I usually set my prints overnight, and then I really hate it when I get up in the morning to go to work and I realize that my
Yeah,
print
we'll
failed.
talk.
The reality about 3D printing is it's not just a click and go. It's not like
That's
the
right.
replicator in Star Trek. You got software, you got to know the slicing software, you got to know your printer, and it's a lot of tinkering, but it's really satisfying once
But
it's
trust
all
me,
set.
you're going to get
Definitely.
confident with it. You're gonna know when and why things work, and when you put it on there, you're gonna know it's gonna be good. But you're gonna make a lot of mistakes. You're gonna make a lot of failures, and sometimes those failures may have nothing to do with you. Like for example,
Yeah.
when I started printing the big one, right, the saucer section, portions of the areas of the saucers was peeling up off the plate. Right? I bed leveled it perfectly. My bed leveling I'm very confident with. But what was happening is that the beds that come with the Creality printers aren't perfectly flat. They're just not. So you have to. There are ways to deal with that by putting paper under certain areas of your bed, of your mirror, or of your magnetic plate to kind of make it as flat as possible. But still, it's not always perfect. So what I've learned to do is, because I've already lost a lot of time on a couple of prints because things were peeling off. So what I learned to do was I recognized where it was peeling. It was the front end of the plate consistently every time. Everywhere else in the plate was fine. So right when it starts to build up to a certain level, like 3 millimeters high, I start to see the peeling happening. I take artist tape down the edges on the mirror all around the half of the print, and it'll stay there and never move and never have to worry about it again, and let it continue to print. The little things like that.
Yeah, with resin printers a little bit. Yeah, with resin printers a little bit. It's a little bit weirder because it's all encased, and you're not seeing it until the plate builds up
resin,
from
there's
the
nothing you can
liquid.
do about it. Once the resin fails, you got to start over. Period. There's no ifs ands about it. With the FDM printer, you can watch the process, make adjustments, and then when it's done, it's done. You don't have to put it in alcohol, the wash away stuff. You don't have to cure it in the sun. It's done. And what you see is what you get. That's another big advantage of resin printing. Okay, so I'm going to leave the model the way it is. It looks good in terms of all the normals. I'm not going to worry about these overlapping polys here. So I want you to see what we're going to get when we're going to print. Maybe it's going to turn out good. Maybe it won't. I'm going to go to my object mode, and I'm going to start selecting all the objects. So I'm going to select these things on his hands. I'm assuming they're just there as I don't know why they're there. I'm just going to select them.
They're Boolean, Steve. They're Boolean, Steve. Basically, I cut out
I don't want.
the
If
claw.
I don't deselect these or hide these booleans will come out as objects to print. So I select them, hit H key for hide. What is this here? Look at more booleans in here. Select that one. Select that one.
Yes.
H key for hide. H key for hide. Let's get this one inside here. Let's get in close. H key to hide. See, I'm looking at the model here and realizing that you've done a lot of extra work. All you need to do is model half, and it will make your life so much easier. But you know that now.
Well, yeah, I had a problem with the mirroring, the same thing that Jeff had with his tank. And so all I did was just like copy and paste it and inverse it and put it together.
The ball down there, hide. Okay. Now, all you're going to do is this. Go to X-ray mode to make sure to guarantee you're selecting everything. And maybe go to an orthographic view and just select them all like that. That way it guarantees you got everything selected you wanted to select. So now, File menu, Export. Export as an STL, Standard Tessellation Language. As an STL. So once I click this, I'm going to put it somewhere where I can find it. I'm going to put it in that student folder. Go to my desktop and go find that student folder. Student homework. Blender 3D printing, week 3. We'll put it in week 3. We'll call it. I will keep it the same name. Now, selection only. If you don't select selection only, what you selected, it'll select everything hidden or seen in Blender. Does that make sense? So only the selected objects is all I want it to deal with. Import, and then apply all the modifiers. Okay. Now export STL. If I try to rotate it and it rotates, that means it's done. It exported successfully. Now let's go back to our Ultimator software and import our objects. So get the folder, go to my desktop, student homework, and 3D printing, week 3. There it is, .stl. Double click it, and there she is, right there. It's really tiny, so hit the A key, Control A to select all, On the left-hand side are your modifiers. You can move it. You can resize it right there. And I can just click the middle one here and just do this. Now this is my Ender 5 Plus, and it automatically drops it onto the plane. Now remember, I explained this to you the other day, that what you see here doesn't mean what's going to print. Right? So if I using the scroll wheel to get in closer, rotating around, and you think, oh, that looks really good. Look on the bottom, this flat blue or this navy blue means that's what's adhered to the base. That connection is good. That's going to give you a nice secure connection. The problem is that you need a base to print from everything. So you need something to start as a base to start printing these hands and these arms. So the only way to do that is to include supports. Well, all the options for that you need for your prints are under right here, under this little symbol or this button. If I click it, all your settings pop up here. I recommend that you have the ability to show everything that you can see. So if you go to your settings and go to your, I think it's under configure visibility. Yeah, configure visibility, and then just hit the check all right there. Under the general, I also have under the theme, I also have Ultimaker dark. You can go to you can go to dark or light or whatever. I go to the dark, so that way I can, the background goes rich and deep. If I go to the settings, I click all so that all of my settings show up, right? I have access to everything that the software feels is going to be the most important. All right, now just click OK. Not click OK, but click the X. Now they all show up here. Now here is my 0.1 quality. You can see that's what I use to print my saucer section. These are the settings I used to print that. So it's a 0.1 layer height. We'll keep that for now. Right now it's telling you if you print this the way it is, it's going to be 7 hours and 51 minutes. It's going to be a long time. So now let's see what it actually looks like. I'm also using a nozzle that's 0.4 millimeters right here. Okay, we can change that where? Under layer height. Well, no, I'm sorry. Under layer line width. The line width, it determines the width of the nozzle opening, whether you're using a 0.4 or a 0.3 or a 0.2 or a 0.6 or a 0.8 nozzle opening. You set that right here under line width. So if I change that from 0.4, say to 0.8, everything else follows in suit. 0.8 nozzle, and then you take a look at your time. Now it's going to take 6 hours and 12 minutes instead of 7 hours. Right? It's going to go faster. If I go to 1 millimeter nozzle, it's slicing. Now it's going to take 5 hours and 51 minutes. Right? So let's see what it's going to look like. If I go to preview and click the preview to see what it's actually going to look like, Now, before I do anything, let me turn off the supports. So I want to talk about that separately. Turn off the support, uncheck supports, and it's going to reslice and give you a visualization of what you're going to get. So this is with no supports. So as I get in closer, and this bar is telling you have 910 layers using a 0.1 millimeter height using that nozzle. And if I take a look at it from the inside, this is your infill. Now those hands without the supports are never going to print because gravity is not your friend. So you need something to a base to print from to accommodate gravity. So what we'll do is that's where supports come in. We come under the menu. Let me start with this menu here. Under quality determines the quality. Now let's play with this before we go to supports, okay? Say the layer height is 0.1, right? So we're taking a look at the layer height, saying, oh, that looks pretty good, even with the 0.1 with a 1 millimeter nozzle. Okay, what if we went to a 0.2 layer height? and it's going to reslice, and all right, it's starting to look a little more coarse, right? Okay, what if we go to a 0.3 layer height? See, it's getting coarser and coarser. It's trying to simulate as best as it can. And you notice now it's 1 hour and 17 minutes. It prints faster. Why? Because it has less layer. Look at your layer count. It's 304 now. All right. So let's go to a point, let's say a 0.6 layer height. Oh gosh, look at that. This is what you're actually getting. So if I scroll this down and go layer by layer to see what it's doing, right?
Now see, that's handy because in movie making, like I do TVs and stuff like that, is if you've got like simple blasters for
Right.
background people, you can print them at a grosser level like that quicker because production's always breathing
Right.
down your neck about time and money. And then for the close up ones for the hero, you can take a little bit more
Right,
time
exactly.
and make it prettier.
All right. So you would have to determine. Maybe your client says, I don't really need a high quality because I'm going to sand it down and put resin over it and do all types of cleanup work anyway to add in more stuff. So just give me a coarse, low quality print. Then you can go with that, right? So now my nozzle is a 0.6. So if I go to a 0.1, that's the layer height, and then go to my nozzle. This one's the nozzle is a 1 millimeter. Now we're going to go to a 0.4, which is a standard nozzle millimeter line width with a 0.1 millimeter layer height. Right, now you're getting really tight resolution, see? And it's showing you the pattern that it's going to print. Now, we need supports, as I started to mention. So we go down here to another menu. Under quality, we're done. I'm going to just close that up. Walls are important too. That shows the thickness of your walls. Your walls, if I go right up here where it says the line type and drop it down, the color coding tells you what's happening. So the red is your actual shell. And the yellow is your top and bottom, starting and ending areas. The turquoise is your layer build adherence. So if I come over to walls, I can make the walls thicker. So I'm going to scroll this down a little bit. Right? Right? So the walls right now is 0.8 of a millimeter. What if I make the walls like 2 millimeters? See that? It's thicker now. So, but now you got 7 hours and 14 minutes. All right? So maybe you want the walls to be no more than like 0.8. 5 hours and 20 minutes. So you kind of, and 0.8 may be just fine. You may not need anything thicker than that. Now, if we go down to supports, well, let's take a look at infill. Infill is the interior support, and that's very important as well. And you've got different styles of infill. So, for example, the density, let's go to like 50%. Let's go to 70% density. Boom, look at that. Lots of infill. You want this to be solid. It's not going to crush or anything. And usually I'm never going beyond 20%, depending on what I'm printing.
For something like this, could you take it to 10%?
10%.
it's really on a case by case. So it's really on a case by case basis on the
right. And how
thickness
big it
of the
is,
wall,
right?
and
It's like this is not good. This is going to break eventually. I mean, that's not enough infill. But then look at the style of infills. You've got grids, lines, triangles, cubic, concentric. Let's say we go concentric. All right. You think that's going to support anything?
no,
Probably not, right?
no.
But if we take it to a higher density, the 20%, maybe it'll do something different. See?
But that's all part of the thought process. But that's all part of the thought process, because if I have to get lights in his eyes and need
That's right.
somewhere to
But
run
you
the
got to
wire.
design that in Blender. You got to determine exactly how that be designed in Blender. So if I go down next over here to our material, this is where you set the temperature of your nozzle and your bed. Your bed should never go, for PLA, should never go beyond 70. I went to 70 only because I thought, because of the peeling I was having on the bed in the ends, I figured the higher temperature would help with that. It didn't. So I normally my standard consistent bed temperature is 65 degrees. Most artists are probably using 60 degrees, but 65 it gives a little extra help. And then my PLA, this print that I'm doing now is at 205, right? It's 205 instead of 210. Okay. The lower your temperature, the less stringing you're gonna have, which is what I'm finding out on this new print on the saucer section. I'm getting less stringing because before I was printing at 210, so lowering it down 5 degrees helped reduce the stringing.
And at 205 is the smallest you can go because of your material.
My recommendation, the recommendation for my material was like 205 to 220 or something like that. But you can go lower. All right. But keep in mind that the colder you go, the less fluid it's going to be. Therefore, it's going to struggle a little bit more going through the nozzle. All right, and it could slow down enough to cause, oh gosh, what's the terminology for it? Basically, it's where the layers don't bond correctly to one another because it's not liquid enough. All right, it's I remember it's a little bit. My brain's not working today. All right, so that's material. So nozzle and Brent, it's all set. I know these two combinations work well with that filament. We go, speed is really important because the faster you print, the less the quality you're going to get. The slower you print, the quality just moves up. Greater detail, less flaws. With mine 50 with the filament printer, it's highly recommended that you not go below 50 or 60. Preferably anywhere from 35 to 50 millimeters a second. Okay, I have been printing like this stuff here. I just shown you was printed like a 70. And I shouldn't have been doing that. But I have found lately that drop that speed down, and then if your speed is slower, that means if you drop the printer temp down, I mean the nozzle temp down, right, to reduce the stringing. The slower you just print, if you slow down the speed of the print, you can also lower the speed of the temperature, which gives you less stringing. So it's this inverse reaction to one another. And you have to explore and experiment with that. Okay, supports. Really important. Let's go ahead and bring this on up. Because right now we have no supports. So we want those hands to print. So if we want those hands to print, got to give them some support. So click on Generate Support there. Now, the way that I like to use support is not to generate them from the actual piece itself, right? So, for example, underneath this helmet, this is an overhang, right? You need supports for overhang. So to properly print this overhang beyond the shoulders of this Lego guy, I gotta have some supports in here. Well, those supports have to come from the shoulder. So currently I have the option for touching the build plate only, which means it's only going to support prints. It's only going to apply supports on the areas that are touching the build plate area. Yeah, I might need supports in here. So I might go over here and say, okay, build plate or everywhere. Click on everywhere. We're going to watch what happens. See? Then that way it ensures that everywhere in your print it's going to work. The overhang angle is 60%. I'm going to take it down to like 40 and let's see what happens. And we got another problem as well. The distance that the overhang has in here, I think my distance are too high for the X and Y distance. So if I come down to here, you got the Z distance from the top is 0.1 because you don't want the plastic adhering to your supports. You want to be able to easily peel your supports off. So we say before you put the top on, give it a 1/10 of a millimeter distance between where you drop the plastic and where it touches the support. Now we also got the XY distance, which is 2 millimeters. I'm gonna say drop that down to like, let's say 0.5. Let's see what happens. See that? See, it's gotten closer. So now this portion of that helmet can now be printed properly. So in essence, you have to peel them off, and when you peel them off, it leaves a little bit of junk on it, but you just have to just sand it off. That's your cleanup work you have to do. So if I pull this bar down so you can see how it's printing. So I always do this just to see exactly what it's going to do. So you got density for your supports as well. All right, maybe I want a little more density in there. So in the support section, you got support density is 10%. Let's say 20%. And we'll go back over this stuff later too, but this gives you a nice little introduction. See, you have more support structure in there. And again, it depends on what you're printing. Mm-hmm. Because doing supports is an art in itself. In here, although it scares me, it's kind of important because now the top portions, all this up here on your helmet is an overhang. And that'll help support the overhang.
Realistically, though, if you were to actually print this, you would actually each of the arms would be separate, sure. Each of the hands would be separate, right. And you would each of the legs would be separate.
You whatever you do, even when I'm designing my starships that are going to be functional for my clients, I'm constantly thinking about what that client needs, where, and how much, and so I have to model to accommodate that. So here, to avoid all these extra supports, do the arms separately, so that you can print them without supports.
You would be able to do that with. You would be able to do that with the hands as well, but you would have to reorientate the hands, right?
Reorient the hands, or maybe print the arm in two halves or something.
Mm.
All right. So
The little antenna, would those be
I would do
separate
those
as well?
so you can just put them flat on the bed, right? If we get in close, we can just put those
Right.
flat on the bed. See,
Mm-hmm.
and with no supporters, and then you can just glue them on.
Okay. Same thing with the head.
Yep, same thing with the head.
Same thing
Make
with the
that
head.
separate. Put that flat on the bed.
No, you could parse all the parts onto one print, right? Okay.
No,
I'm such a noob. I have no idea.
no,
I'm sorry, I'm
no,
such a
it's
noob.
it's
I have
good
no
question.
idea how any of this stuff works.
And it won't matter whether you can put them on it, all the parts together or separate. The time it takes to print will always be identical. If one,
And if you particularly like puzzles, a fun thing is how many parts can you put onto the plate for the print. So that's a game in onto itself.
And do you have to? Is there a kind of like a guide? I mean, so I don't know what the grid size is.
Your client wants this to be 4 inches tall, right? All the proportions are correct, right? So I'm gonna come back and gonna prepare. So all the proportions are correct. We're gonna assume it's all correct. It doesn't matter what size it is, as long as the proportions are correct. So if it's gonna be tall from the top of his head, where the bucket, flat bucket is, to the bottom of his feet, it has to be 4 inches. Well, let's see. Let's go over. I'll show you what I do. Boom, 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 boom. It is okay. So where is? I go to online and put in inches, 2 millimeters. Conversion. All right, 4 inches is 101.6. Go copy that. 101.6 millimeters is 4 inches. Well, that's going to be a little bit of a problem because it's also going to take these in consideration. So we'll say this is 4.5 inches. So we'll go back, say 4.5 inches total. So, where did it? Oh, okay, well,
Upper right corner.
upper right corner. There it is.
Upper right corner. Upper
All
right
right,
corner.
so we go 4.5. There it is. 114.3. Drop it down. Oops. Go back to my printing software. There. Okay, so we copy that. So we click on this. Go to my scale. Go to the what axis? The z-axis. Go to the z-axis. Keep everything uniform scaling because everything's proportion. And just put it in. There it is. Boom. There it is. That's what your client wants. And it will print out at those exact dimensions. No excuses. No apologies.
And the print time went up.
Yep.
And the print time went up.
Because now it's bigger. So this is going to teach you to be patient. So the printer I recommend that you should buy. Let's see if I can find.
Also, something to keep in mind while Steve is looking for that is that if you double the height, you triple the volume. So for materials wise, in terms of printing, you'll have to keep that in mind as well.
All right. Now I have the Ender 5. I have the Ender 5 Plus, which is like 13 by 13 by 14 inches high. It was more than that, something like that. But if you want to save money, you've got what's called the Ender 4, which is the same framework I've got in terms of structure, but a smaller build plate, and it's like 200 and something bucks.
Okay.
All right. So if we go to Ender,
Christmas is coming early to Tony. Christmas is coming early to Tony. I said that too loud. My wife might have heard me.
I said that too loud.
My wife might have heard me.
Okay. Now this is the 5 Plus. That's the big one. That's what I did my saucer on. You want the Ender 5 Pro, I think. There it is. $399. Yeah, that's the Pro. See, this is 220 by 220 by 300. So 12 inches is about 300. 12 inches is the highest it's going to go. And this is like 10 and a half by 10 and a half by 12 inches. The other one for $600 is 350 by 350. So this is like 13 by 13 by 14 inches. So if $600 is okay, I mean, if you're just learning, go with the smaller one. Go with the $399. This one's nice because of its structure, because it's a much more solid structure. You got 4 supporting bars, and on the CR10s and CR10Ss, the bottom bed is moving right to left and in and out for X and Y axis. Here, the build plate is only doing one thing. It's going up and down. That's all it's doing. The X and Y axis is all restricted to the top here.
So it really comes down to whether the bed moves or the nozzle
And
moves.
trust me, the ones I have now, most of what I have now, the bed moves, and I've gotten outstanding prints from them. But I just find this is a nice little upgrade in that the less moving parts as possible, the better. So if money is an issue, then go with the Ender 3, right? Version 2 I prefer you to have. And they're, $259, $279, $289. That's the good price. And these are like a 9.5 by 9.5 by 9.5 high inches. And they're really good.
Did you print your saucer flat? Did you print your saucer
Yes,
flat?
I did. I printed it flat down. But I did it on the Ender 5, which is a much bigger plate.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity. So do you assemble, just out of curiosity, Steve, do you assemble your saucers,
hell
your
no.
models for your client, or?
No, I print them, make sure they're printed out right, and give it to them. They're builders. But my clients are professional scratch builders. So I don't do that shit.
Hey, Steve, why don't you show your Doomsday machine?
Well, wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute. So I got.
Oh, you haven't printed one for yourself?
I'll share that. I've got pictures of it. Let me go get it. Let's go to Bridge. The one client of yours who built his, and it lit up. It's did a
beautiful.
great job. Okay, I'll show you pictures, and let me see if I get the videos as well. I've got it. I know I have it right here. I know exactly where it is. So, PC under the 4th. There it is. There we go. And under 0 promotional images.
Why isn't Alienware sponsoring you?
Alienware, because they don't need it. Need to sponsor them. They're a pretty famous machine, and everybody wants one.
Should sponsor you. They should sponsor you, is what I'm saying.
Get them to sponsor me. Heck.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a little taste of that. I'm gonna need a little taste of that if that happens.
Let's see. Promotional images. Okay, 3D design, 3D print images. I think it's under 3D products, but let me check and see real quick. It's taking just thinking right now. Okay, 3D products. There we go. Okay, so under Doomsday Machine. There it is. Okay. I'll just kind of walk through this. So this is, I originally started building it for Comic Fest. I modified the machine since the print since then, and it's 44 inches long. That's the client speaking.
Yeah, that turned out really cool.
Because this client wanted it in clear, wanted me to print it in clear using a filament printer. And the CR10S is printing these here. So I sliced them in such a way that they can easily glue it together. I've changed it up and they can light it. So if these clients wanted it so they can light it, get the body to light a little bit. Now I've had other clients that decided that they didn't want it lighted. They wanted only the front end lighted, but they wanted everything else to be like a solid black. And these are like tests. Now let me see if I can find, and I know I've got the videos. There we go. So this is the black. So I went back in and put in these little, not holes, but kind of like holes, where the client can take a metal rod, like a 1/4 inch metal rod, and use it to adhere them together. And these are little improvements that I'll make when the clients, make suggestions to me, like, this is great, but if you just do this, then I'll go and do it. Add the improvements. So here's one. This section is the only section in clear. Everything else is in black. But the client is priming it with black because he doesn't want light to show through it. He only wants light to show through this portion here. And you can see the process that they're doing. They send me photos of their updates.
Wow.
And it's big. This is big. This is 44 inches long. I mean, it's...
Wow.
Right, and I don't know if the video's in here, but you can see now this is where he's now he's putting on the primer, so he can add all the little extra detail.
Wow.
So now let me see if I can find the videos. I think videos. I thought I should have a separate folder in here called videos and put them all in there, and I'm gonna do that when I get a chance. And I thought that I had, I'll find it. But here's some other stuff as well. Doomsday Machine base. That's the base that the client hired me to do for the Doomsday Machine. It's basically a destroyed planet. Earth versus the Flying Saucer. This one is, 12-inch diameter by 22 inches high.
Yeah, I remember seeing those on Facebook. Wow. Yeah, I remember seeing those on Facebook.
This
just blew me away.
It's a fun one, and this is kind of what you're getting. And I modeled that from scratch in Blender. I did not find a Capitol building model. I actually built that from scratch. Here's what one client. Let's see if he. This one set a video. He put lights and stuff on the inside. That's the saucer. It matches the saucer from the movie. An update to the Enterprise A deflector dish area.
Nacelle? Oh, okay.
Somebody had me build them a base, and it ended up being like, let's see if I can find the final piece. I think I just passed it right there. Ended up being that for the base of the Enterprise.
Blender again? Blender again?
Here's the a warp nacelle. This is a Not a warp nacelle. This is the Impulse engine redesign for the 1/350th scale Enterprise.
This is a screen grab, right?
There's a screen grab.
This is a screen grab,
I
right?
might have some printed.
Okay.
There it is. The printed ones.
Oh, wow.
And there it is there. Let's see. That's the end caps for the Enterprise for the warp nacelle end caps.
Oh, that's what you showed us earlier. The one
Yeah.
on the right. Oh, that's what you showed us earlier. The one on the
I'll show you
right.
these 3 different styles, and these are all filament. This is all filament printing. Oh, now these are fun too. Let's see.
Oh.
These I
Yeah.
designed this plate for the 1/350th scale Katinga class Kleon Starship. A lot of people bought these, and they send me photos of what they of the lights and everything they put inside. So the models don't come with this at all, so they have to do it themselves. So one client hires me to do it. I put it up on Facebook, and other people buy them.
Mm-hmm.
It's another example. And there's what you're getting. And this is a filament print. This is not resin. So if this was printed with a 0.3 nozzle with a 0.1 layer height. And I also did the torpedo tubes back here.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Well, it's really taking scratch building model making. Well, it's really taking scratch building
this is
model
all
making to
filament.
another level. I mean, nobody would be able to really tell either. I mean, nobody would be able to really tell either once it's
Here's a
painted.
custom designed warp nacelle for the Katinga class ship. I sold a few of those. Those are kind of fun. That's the front end torpedo tube I designed. The new style bridge for the Katinga class ship I did.
Very steampunk.
Yeah, it's very steampunk.
Very steampunk.
Fun stuff. I showed you the grills already. Let's see, with bridge, I showed you those. New veneers, torpedo tubes. Okay, so I've got a bunch of other stuff here I can share real fast before we go. 3D products here. Buck Rogers interior. Here we go.
Oh, that's what you were showing us earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you were showing us earlier.
Yeah.
Can you zoom in a little bit? Yeah, there you go. My old age, sorry. I'm getting blind in my old age. Sorry. It's so cool. Wow, that's so cool. It's so cool that the filament
You can
printed
see
all
some
that
of the
little
lines in there, but I was printing
nuanced
too
stuff.
fast. If I slowed down, it would have been. It would have rendered a lot better. Here's one where the client did the painting.
That's phenomenal.
And this is the actual ship they're using. And it's big.
Do they give you the overall
haven't seen the
dimension
whole
of the
model.
hole that you need to fill?
Yeah, so that there's no
Oh, really?
mistakes. I
Oh,
can
oh,
actually
wow.
fit it in there. I've got more. Let's see. Deflector dish. I showed you. Oh, here's one. Someone had me design a new deflector dish concept. All that lights up back there. Now this one here is resin printing, because the resin will give you that nice little clear throughout.
So Steve, you've got both
Yeah,
resin
I have
and,
both.
and filament.
Next week we'll talk about the resin. All right, so for homework, design for me a complete model with paneling and rivets and all, and think about how you would 3D print it, and organize it by layers as to how you would 3D print it.
So give you in the end maybe like a Cura file? So give you in the end maybe like a
what
Cura
you're gonna
file?
give me
Or?
is just your regular blend file.
Okay. Okay.
And then post your results on the Discord channel, and
Discord?
post your files on Discord. All right, we're done.
Okay.
Thanks, Steve.
You're most welcome. All right.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.